We're back in the garage again today. It's a bit of a rainy one, and we've almost become Omni vacuums, right?
Omni vacuum.
Omni vacuums that we talked about on this channel. We've got another one today.
This is the original vacuum that I ever got.
Do you know what I would call this back in the day? This is a dust buster.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. That's just what this style of vacuum cleaner always was to me. It was the dust buster. Grab the dust buster.
So this is one of Ryobi's kind of first vacuums that they made in their 18-volt range. So this, on the back of this tool, we've talked about this before, was made in 2016. So I would have got it probably around about that time as well.
Would have been one of your first Ryobi tools, wouldn't it?
This was exactly the first Ryobi tool. So this, I got this for my birthday.
Yeah.
When I lived in the apartment. So when we lived in the apartment, no access to running water, you had your little tiny garage car park,
yep.
No power, nothing like that. So for me to be able to clean the interior of my car, I needed a portable vacuum.
So this is all you use to do the interior of that car there, yeah?
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
At the time though, portable devices like this was pretty new.
Well, this would have been around the days of like the 2016, yeah, maybe the first Dyson cordless vacuums, like the technology was...
Yeah, possibly. And so I was just absolutely grateful that I was allowed to, or that I could get something that would get me out of a hole here. So being able to go down and just do the vacuuming of the carpets to a semi-reasonable standard was just like a luxury for me. I couldn't come in the garage like this and get out the big, huge jobby and with the big suction. I was just grateful that I had this.
I would be pretty... I feel pretty limited if we had to use this to do our vacuuming these days. Purely because, like, I mean, this is fine if you got some dirt bang smack in the middle of a mat or on the seat, but to try and like actually go with some deep cleaning into your mats and...
This is actually not as bad as you think.
Really? Okay.
This is pretty good.
I just look at it and I go, I feel really limited as to the use cases for that when you've got other tools.
Yeah, but when you get your car to a specific standard, cleaning becomes easier. So if you're doing it all the time.
It does.
But I used this, when we went out to shoot those photos yesterday, I use this to quickly give the mats a little bit of a clean up from the dust and stuff.
You probably take this in the car when we go on little road trips.
Little road trips, just to clean out like bits of pie and stuff.
So this tool works best when teamed up with a 5 amp hour battery, and that's purely because it sits nice and flat when you're resting on a surface. So you've got your on-off trigger, lock on at the top there, your dustbin attachment, just like so. And this dust bin will have a 650 milliliter capacity. You've got a paper filter there that can be washed, but it's looking pretty messed up there. But keep in mind, this is a 5-year-old tool. That just sits inside there, and it simply snaps back on like so. And then on the underside of the tool here as well, you do have storage, onboard storage for an included tool here. Now, we don't actually know where that is right now, but basically it snaps off. You can plug it in the top here, and it just allows you to reach into tighter crevices. So pretty ergonomical tool. You hold it like so, flick it on, and you're good to go.
So we've been through and talked about a few sort of use cases, and I've typically used this in the car to clean mats and to clean seats and things like that. In the most recent times, I've had a friend borrow this, and when the windscreen or the back sort of quarter of the windscreen sort of smashed, this tool was really good to suck up large pieces of glass, and that's when you use that attachment tool, and you can get into the tight little crevices. But this tool really shines to suck up larger objects. So if you had a Dyson or a typical vacuum, you know that that orifice is quite small, and especially with the Dyson, it's got that rotary attachment, and large bits of, I don't know, bits of paper and confetti in this case actually get stuck along those rollers. So we recently had a party, heaps of confetti through the house, and using the Dyson, those big chunks just get stuck. And so I grabbed this handheld vacuum here with the large orifice, and it sucks it up really beautifully. So we've got some junk here, we've got some hair and stuff from a typical Dyson, and a bit of confetti that I actually sucked up with this. I've just emptied back on the garage. So we'll show you how well this bad boy does shine in here, and then we can talk about where things are really going with the other vacuums. Yeah, airflow on this as well. It's rated at 0.87 of a cubic meter per hour. I hate the way that they rate vacuums. It's you know, some of it's in air watts, some of it's in cubic meters per hour. It's a really tough measurement to figure out how well. What does that even mean?
Well, I guess that the 0.87 cubic meters an hour means that if you ran that for an hour, You've got a 650mm dust pan in there basically, but you could effectively pick up almost a cubic meter worth of dust, dirt
in an hour.
It's a terrible way to gauge the suction of a vacuum or the powerfulness.
Well, this is the best way to gauge it, is me showing you.
Real world use, right?
And this works better when the surface is hard. So if you had a garage floor like this, or you actually worked in an area where you had like a shed or a workbench and you were sucking out wood shavings and things like that, then this is where you need to get one of these. And for roughly $80 odd at Bunnings, why would you not want to get one? So let's see how well it sucks this mess up. And we're pretty at the point now where we've actually blocked the whole thing up. But I mean, you grab a normal vacuum cleaner and try and vacuum up half a tree's worth of paper, and I think it'll clog up pretty quick. And that dustbin's pretty full already. So in recent times, Ryobi have sort of brought out this shop vac type vacuum cleaner here, and it's got like a long cord on it that's quite a narrow orifice, but this is kind of where vacuum cleaners of this are kind of going. And so we have made a full video of this, so go back if you're interested in checking out this one, go back and check that out. But I'll show you what both of these do in action.
I think it's quite clear there, your benefit to a larger machine, like the one on the left there, is if you're cleaning up big messes, and I think a lot of that's to do with the large dustbin capacity, but that one there for spot treatment, I think does a fairly good job. What were your impressions holding that?
Yeah, I think if you were going to spend $80 on this tool, then this is definitely not something to be sneezed at. It does a pretty good job of sucking up large volume of stuff, mainly on a more harder type surface. So the surface was kind of porous or was on carpets and things like that, maybe you could stay away from this and go towards something like that with more sucking capacity. But in a shop-like environment, this type of thing, and actually they make this so it comes with a long handle too, you can buy that sort of style as well, then that is a perfect environment for here. Because this paper filter isn't really good, if you're sucking up things like fine dust and stuff like that, you can soak this filter and it just sort of leaks out the sides and makes a huge big mess. So you want to be mindful for sucking up too much fine dust particles with this type of machine. So that's our take on the Ryobi handheld vacuum. Now for $80, bearing in mind this unit has slightly changed. It's come with a slightly smaller capacity, 540 mils. I guess the air suction is probably roughly about the same. They've got different terms and different numbers, but for $80, this tool is probably something I would go out and buy. This is super handy to have in the garage, super handy to have in like a shop type area, or if you were just wanting to do a quick tidy up of your carpets and car interior, then this is the tool I would go and buy.
Well, as far as Ryobi tools go, that's going to be your most compact one, because if you're traveling and you just want to have something in the car to clean up your kids' mess in the back seat or the sand from the beach, on your car mats or something, this here is going to take up a bit of room in your car, so that there at the price point as well, I don't think.
Well, you just grab it and you just grab it off your shelf and you just suck up the little bit of mess that you need.
Yep.
I mean, super handy, super convenient, and this is my first tool. This is a tool I'm going to keep having because I really like this one.
Yep, so we're on a bit of a hunt still for the perfect vacuum. I don't think it's this, I don't think it's this, and it's definitely still not the Dyson. The Dyson is definitely the home vacuum of choice. Yep. Absolutely love the V15. However, these tools have got little niches, right? Different use cases where this is pretty good. Same with this one here. We haven't found the perfect vacuum yet, and it's something that we are on the hunt for, but I don't know if Ryobi make an all-in-one that's going to tick all of the boxes for us.
But we'll keep hunting for that. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel so you get updates about when other videos are coming out and sort of content like this. But that's it from Omni Garage, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.
See you then.